Welcome. I just was being goofy. Welcome to tonight's bedtime stories with me, your host, Pastor Michelle. Today is Monday, June 1st, and yes, it's June. Isn't that crazy that we're already in the month of June? Anyway, we are living in some really crazy times right now, and I'm very well aware of that. But just know that this is something that I like doing. Reading a story before I go to sleep. It gives me some sense of normalcy. I missed all the craziness that is happening all around us. But my friends, I just want to encourage us to keep whatever we do it in love, right? And so I know things are just, not only are we dealing with a pandemic and a virus, but we're also dealing with riots all over the place. And and when I read the news, I don't know exactly what to believe when I hear about stories where I come from, where I place my beliefs in all this is that I'm always going to fall on the side of the oppressed. And it's heartbreaking to me, all the years, and just how far that we've not yet come as a country. So I think about people like Malcolm X, MLK, and just people, Rosa Parks. You think of all those people that fought for freedom and fought so that we could live in a world where all people are seen as equal. And yet it's 2020 and we are still struggling. And we are still fighting like hell to create that world where all people are seen as equal. And so for me, the phrase doesn't sound right, but Black lives matter, white lives matter, all lives matter. And I don't know exactly how to even, I don't know how to go. I'm at a loss for words, except knowing that I just see what's happening and it's heartbreaking. But in the midst of all this, in the midst of all the craziness, it is nice to have some joy, right? Nice to find something that brings you joy. And this, reading a bedtime story, to whoever is listening, it brings me joy. And so it's nice to hold on to something that helps you. So today's story, it comes to you from the movie Aladdin. And so I say all that in the beginning just to say that if you're feeling kind of lost, if you're feeling kind of just frustrated, scared, I'm right there with you. And just know that we're going to get through this together, right? One step at a time, And so just continue to love one another, everyone. Just continue to be safe out there. Reach out to your friends, and tell them you love them. And because I think right now we need to hear that more than ever. We need to be reminded that we're not alone. And so anyway, I don't know where I was going with that, except to just say that I'm grateful for all of you. And so tonight's story is called Abu's Wild Ride. And so there is Abu on the magic carpet ride. And so let's take a magic carpet ride and hear this story tonight. It was midnight in Agrabah, and all the kingdom was fast asleep. All that is except Abu. The little monkeys simply could not fall asleep, and so while the rest of the palace slept, Abu was out looking for something to do. He could make himself a midnight snack, but he really wasn't hungry. Or he could play with Raha's toys, but they were covered with tiger slobber. Yuck. There was, it seemed, nothing at all in the whole entire palace for a wide-awake monkey to do. Then Abu spied a patch of bright wool hovering in the moonlight. It was the magic carpet. Now that Abu thought with glee, that was something to do. With a happy little squeal, Abu hopped aboard. Whoosh! Before Abu even knew what was happening, the carpet was off, zipping toward the ceiling, then zooming to the floor. Abu clung to its fringes for dear life and grinned. This was great. The carpet carried the little monkey through the castle corridors, whizzing in and out of doorways, twisting around columns, skidding down staircases, zooming as fast as it could fly, until at last it soared right out an open window. Uh-oh, thought Abu. This wasn't good. Where in the world was the magic carpet going? Soon the palace was just a tiny dot behind him. Where would he end up? Just as Abu was really starting to worry, a giant blue hand appeared. Whoa now, partners, a hearty voice boomed. Slow down. It was Genie. Abu sighed with relief. Taking a little joyride, are we? The genie asked. The carpet nodded. And if it were possible for a carpet to look sheepish, it would have looked very sheepish indeed. Some words are just hard for this old gal to pronounce. All right. Well, time to go home now. Oh, flat, fuzzy one, the genie said, giving the carpet a gentle little pat. I can't say I blame you, Abu. I've always wanted to drive one of these, too. What do you say we take her home together? He gave Abu a wink. Scoot over and, hey, Abu, I won't tell Aladdin about tonight if you don't. Abu shook the genie's hand. It was a deal. And so, tomorrow's night's story comes to you from the Disney film Brother Bear. And so, my friends, that concludes tonight's story. And be well, stay safe, continue loving one another. Because in this crazy world right now, we need a heck of a lot more love, right? And so, God bless you all.